Are you serious? Are you serious? Hey guys, welcome to Episode 5, Season 8's review of Game of Thrones. The bells. The bells of stupidity, is as I like to call it. Before we go into an angry rant, before we get into our review of the episode, I want to thank our sponsors, Stardust app, which you can upload live reactions, discuss episodes, put comments. We're on there live. If you want to see some really angry reactions, go over there right now. Follow my account at AngryJoeShow. It supports our show. The app is free, so there's no reason not to do it. And by doing that, following us, it supports the show for $1 each follow. Thank you guys so much. Let's get to the actual episode. And as you know, I put up an angry rant last night. It was very therapeutic. I was eating my ice cream.
Oh,
it got on my beard, by the way. Everybody's like, Joe, clean your beard.
What it's for, right?
Yeah, exactly. and so I have kind of got a little bit off my chest. And I know we already recorded this episode, but our camera went out. And so I was overpowering you guys. So I want to let y'all talk in this. So let's review the episode. Let's start with, what did you guys think? Or were you as upset as I was with some of how everybody's character arc seemingly is getting fucked?
Yeah, I didn't like the storytelling at all. And one thing that was kind of interesting is I didn't disagree with anything that happened in this episode, and they could have been set up to the point where it'd be satisfying.
Right.
But
let's nip that in the butt right now.
Yeah, so
I know this is going to be a huge thing. We're going to get a bunch of comments. Joe, you're stupid. Alex, you're stupid. Erica, you don't know what you're talking about, because obviously this Mad Queen was always said. We're obviously talking about Dany's big turn.
Yeah.
The Mad Queen stuff.
Well, there's a
Are
lot
you
of
upset that she's a Mad Queen?
No, I love
so
it.
You love it.
Oh,
well,
I
we
loved
talked
it.
about it the very
Yes.
first the time we did it.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
kind of setting up this Mad Queen thing. We've had arguments for hours about
Yeah.
like whether it's going to happen or not. I wasn't upset
You were
that she
right.
became the Mad Queen. I wasn't that upset that Jaime goes all the way up to Winterfell. He doesn't die, has sex and comes all the way back. I wasn't sad that Arya took a 2-week long trip.
I didn't like that Jaime thing, but keep going.
But then Arya comes all the way down, and then they have this kind of weird scene that was like actually really heartfelt with her and the Hound, then come back. I didn't have a problem with any of the big plot points of this episode. The problem is there wasn't a satisfying 5, 6, 7, 8 episodes beforehand that actually set everything up.
Like
I
properly.
get that they've been hinting at it.
Alex, the past 7 seasons, Dany has been doing fucked up things.
Sure.
She killed the Masters. She killed those who tried to kill her.
But the problem is, she wasn't killing innocents the entire
yeah.
time.
She wasn't killing civilians, women and children. She wasn't staring
Warlords?
Dracarys.
Yeah.
Dracarys.
She killed warlords, like the calls, right?
Yep.
Those were not innocent people.
Nope.
She killed all of the Masters. She killed the Tarleys, who were traitors 2 different ways that wouldn't bend the knee. She even gave them an opportunity to not get burned alive, and then she killed all those people. She wasn't going around torching women and children the last couple episodes.
So I figured out her justification behind it too.
Yeah.
When she's actually talking to Tyrion and somebody else in the throne room, she's stating that when she was in the Slaver's Bay and everything, second she got there, she said that all of the slaves actually turned and revolted. Yeah, and she didn't necessarily have to do anything. She just showed up, showed them the proper ruler, and then they did it themselves. So now the fact that they have let themselves be taken captive essentially by Cersei, she justifies her actions by saying, well, since I'm here now and they're not turning against her right this instant, even though they insisted that they ring the bell, she's allowed to burn them all to death.
Yeah.
Right, which I fundamentally disagree with it.
Yeah.
Just dropping one single line in the episode right before she goes crazy is not sufficient
I
for
get-
me.
I get what they were doing.
I don't like the execution.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I understand where they were going, that they were telling a story. It feels like George R. R. Martin came to them a couple years ago and says, look, I'm going to give you 3 episodes, and I'm going to tell you exactly what happens. I'm not going to tell you how I get there. And they had no idea how to build up these characters to get to this important point, right? And so we have this, Daenerys becomes the Mad Queen. She goes above and beyond she is beyond the Mad King. The Mad King wanted maybe to kill tens of thousands of people.
Right, but he didn't,
but
Jaime fucking
he
killed
didn't
him.
do anything.
Slayer.
And she goes in and she just systematically goes up the alleys and down the streets and kills all of the women.
Which made no
thousands.
fucking sense. She, in previous episodes, and you want to talk about dropped lines in the episode, right, to try to justify things, well, she drops, my enemies are in the Red Keep.
Yeah.
I'm going to attack them now. Red Keep, she says. She doesn't say the houses before the Red Keep. She wants to attack Cersei, who killed Missandei. Missandei fell. Oh, Missandei. I saw that meme. Did you see the
ice
meme?
cream?
Yeah.
Oh,
Missandei.
no.
Well, anyway, so she's like, and she's over here mowing down civilians over and over and over, actually giving time for the people in the Red Keep to escape, for Cersei to escape. She doesn't fly directly and fucking mow and blow up that fucking castle, which, by the way, was amazing.
Gorgeous.
I love that.
It was gorgeous.
Gorgeous. Let's talk about a positive thing.
The best looking roasting children I've ever seen in my entire life. It was great.
Buildings exploding.
Some really epic fights in this episode too, where you see the brothers fighting on the entire little staircase, and then all of a sudden you see the dragon swoop over. That was glorious.
Just epically filmed. Cinematography great. We can actually see shit. I was worried that this would be at night. Is during the daytime. Very happy about that. It was directed again by the guy that directed The Long Night. So we want to give props, because I think we all agree at this table that the direction was fine, but the story had some problems.
Just between episodes, it doesn't make any damn sense.
No, it doesn't.
Last episode, we see the most OP homing miss tomahawk scorpions that are shooting around corners.
Three consecutive shots land.
And then this time, there's not only an entire city lined with these scorpions, the entire fleet is. And
it's like 100 ships firing.
She pulls a Poe Dameron and just runs through and blows up everything. No one can shoot her. Just complete God mode.
God mode is right. That's what happened. The patch notes. It's like a League of Legends
Scorpions
champion.
got nerfed. Dany gets buffed. All right, and we're good? Yeah, we're good. Go.
We're good. Go. And that is what we're talking about. When we're talking about the writing, when we're talking about something being unsatisfying, when we're talking about something going about face, or like a switch going off in somebody's head and them acting out of character for a little bit just to set up conflict. And that kind of stuff rears its ugly head, and that's what we're talking about. We don't care that she went Mad Queen, because eventually, honestly, some of us wanted her to go Mad Queen, right? But, it just was poorly set up. The bells are ringing, and she just goes, even though she's won already. And Alex was on the couch, and I said this in my rant. He was like, oh, no, Joe, it's because remember in the previous seasons, like season 1, they were torturing her, and they were ringing the bells, and then she said shame. And I was like, oh, shit, really? Holy fuck, that's deep. And he's like, no, I was just kidding.
Yeah, it's just like, it's the stupidest shit. It doesn't make any sense.
Made it up. And I was like, okay, so how could we take this scene and change it? Because there was a video on the internet that last episode, to show you how the directors and the writers kind of screwed up, is that Rhaegal dies out of nowhere, right? And they re-edit it to where she locates the fleet. She's not a dumbass not looking around for an Iron Fleet that she knows she's there. She finds him. She does a dive bomb on them because she's like, all right, let me fight. And then it's edited using only footage from the episode, and that's why it's so revealing and good that it could have been done that way. Then they reveal their fucking scorpions, and then she's like, oh shit, and then they fire, and it takes out Rhaegal. That would have been way better. And that's the kind of stuff we're talking about for when she lands her dragon. She's already won. She blew up all the scorpions. Even Qyburn's like, all of our scorpions are blown up, and she did a great fucking job. We need to fucking run.
Already crying.
They had a slam dunk. I was watching it, and you see Jaime Lannister disappear into the city. None of the Lannister soldiers necessarily know to stop when the bell rings. And Jaime's running through, and I was like, oh shit, he's just going to go ring the bell. He's going to try to stop this. And he's going to ring the bell. The good guys are going to stop fighting, but the Lannisters won't. And then she'll see, oh, they baited me, and she's going to go through.
Right, that's what I wanted. I wanted, like, here's how to make the scene better. She said she realizes she wins. She's still fucking pissed off, and she's thinking about, maybe I should still keep going. And the Lannisters themselves ring the bell, right? Or Jaime rings the bell. But the Lannisters are so scared, they start to embed themselves within the civilians. Like, they're literally hiding behind civilians
Taking
in their
off armor.
And Dany sees that, and she's right there. She's like, and she has this thing where it's like, maybe I won't. But then, right then, Cersei's like, fire! Even though they've already surrendered, the bells are ringing.
Hidden scorpion.
And it hits fucking Rhaegal. Maybe Rhaegal didn't die in the last episode because he died in such a shitty way. It hits Rhaegal, and she goes fucking nuts, and she's like, Dracarys right there on those civilians with the fucking Lannister troops, and then she carves a path to the Red Keep. But this stuff makes no sense. That all of it, that she's ringing and she looks at the Red Keep, and then in the behind the episode, the fucking directors are like, "Well, it's because one time, Dany's brother died via gold being poured on him." It's like that has nothing to do with the fucking scene. And then also she saw the Red Keep, which is a symbol of her home and everything. It's like she doesn't fucking care about that. She cares about destroying her enemies. I'm gonna attack my enemies. Instead, she's mowing down women and children, attacking over and over, and ignoring the enemies. And that's my real rant.
Yeah, I would have liked it better if at that point, instead of just firing down, maybe let out one. She killed some of the innocents and then took off towards the Red Keep. That would have been a lot more relevant.
Start at the keep, and then she's blowing up the keep, and she's getting more and more bloodthirsty. She's like, she no longer is holding back the impulses, the mad impulses that she's always had, apparently. She blows up the whole keep, and then you know what? She sees more people, and then she just keeps going. And then that you can build up into this believable moment. She goes, the bells ring, and she torches children. There has been no one in the history of Westeros that just goes like, I'm going to indiscriminately just start torturing children. We were told that there's 1 million civilians in the city. And she goes, and what is maybe a third of them are dead?
She's just trying to kill them.
She doesn't care at that
She got the high score now.
And all of this because Jon didn't dick her down. Jon didn't give her the sex.
Sometimes you need to get some to like push away from that crazy person.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is that how it goes?
I mean, do you not agree? Come on.
I know. No, but it's so stupid that Jon is over here. I'm like fucking hate Jon. He's turned into like a side character. And he's
an extra.
He's an extra, right? And he's so beholden to his honor, even more so than Ned Stark. Ned Stark at least kept a secret that would have killed, his son and his family. Yeah. And Jon has to keep a secret that would obliterate the entire kingdoms, and he can't fucking keep a secret. He has to tell his family, which, by the way, is family then fucking betrays Jon and goes and tells everybody else. Arya's like, we're family. Fuck it, I'm leaving this place and I'm never looking back. What? I thought you were family.
She's leaving for a purpose, but Sansa's just telling Tyrion so that she could play the Game of Thrones at that point. There's no actual like, we're family at this point. Let me keep your secret so I could save tens of thousands of people. It's just like, hey Tyrion, guess what? Go tell all these people.
Well, speaking of idiots telling the truth, Tyrion in this sells out our man Varys. Like the opening.
So at the beginning of the season. Why they done Tyrion so dirty? He turned from like the smartest fucking guy in the season. I love the Tyrion episodes. Like when he was a badass. And now he's a moron.
He's a bit of an idiot. He said specifically, you have to choose the person that you want to rule and stand beside them completely, which is why he stood behind Dany the entire time. And that's why when he saw Varys trying to convince Jon, I need you to take over the throne.
Treason, right?
Yeah, completely committing treason. He's like, when a Targaryen is born, you flip a coin, and Westeros prays that they're not exactly like what Dany is turning into. He called it.
It's another thing. Varys betrays Dany's way before she does the fire in the city.
But he saw it coming.
And it's so bullshit because it's like, just let her conquer this one city and see how she rules, and then you can enact your plan. But no, he's already decided that she's a bitch. Sansa has already decided that she's a bitch, even though Daenerys has done everything to help not only Jon, but Sansa, House Stark, everything. She has no reason to hate her at this point.
She has
other than
no
she was
love.
slightly mean.
Well, there's also no reason to believe that Tyrion gives a shit about treason, because later in the episode, not 20 minutes later, he commits fucking treason. He walks in, release a prisoner of war who is not going to assassinate Cersei. He's going to try to save Cersei, the ultimate enemy. He wants to go in there, betray Dany, and to save the enemy. So Tyrion doesn't give a shit about treason. He commits treason.
Before we get to that, and I want to say how that scene was really good.
I like that scene.
However, I don't think Tyrion would have sold out Varys to Dany's, which he does. No. He fucking snitches like a little fucking bitch. Yeah. And he didn't need to, because apparently Dany already knew who betrayed him. It was Jon, and it doesn't matter who then.
Ever.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't matter. And so I thought that Varys maybe was making this mistake mistake on purpose and was being a little careless on purpose so that he can, because remember in the last episode he was like, at my own personal risk, I am going to, do this kind of thing, and I hope you make the right
Which
choice.
he did.
Which he says, I'm basically alluding to the fact that he's going to die and it's going to be up to Tyrion to make the right choice. So he's basically becoming a martyr. He's martyring himself because she threatened him that she was going to burn him.
And then Tyrion did the exact same thing that Varys did. He's now sacrificing himself by releasing Jaime, knowing that Dany will kill him for doing so because he wants to protect all the innocent lives.
But the advisor, so what I have a problem with is one of the reasons that she's so paranoid and psycho and hiding in her room and not eating for days is because the people around her are either dead or betraying her.
Right.
Jon betrays her. Varys betrays her. Sansa betrays her. And Tyrion betrays her.
He's trying to poison her with that little girl who works in the kitchen.
Oh, you think so?
Because that's why he said we'll try again later.
Oh.
Because she's not eating. She's trying to fucking kill her, and she's being smart to not fucking eat.
So by Varys trying to become the martyr, it's like this self-fulfilling prophecy. He sets this whole thing up.
Yeah.
She starts murdering her own advisors, or they're just dead anyway. She doesn't like Jon. That's the first person she's like, well, Jon betrayed me, and Sansa betrayed me, and Sansa is like responsible for Varys' death as much as whoever is. And so by Varys trying to become this martyr and save the realm, he sets off the spark that kills everyone in the realm.
Yeah.
Varys was dead for one day, and then the realm goes to shit. That guy was holding everything together.
This is just an example of all these little character arcs, and then you've got normal dumb shit that we would forgive, like fucking Jaime finding a back way into King's Landing, but just so happened to run into Euron, who is there at the exact same time because Euron jumped off the ship.
Lands on the same beach and then sees Jaime and he's like, hey, you want another strike on that Kingslayer record of yours?
Didn't he say something like, hey, I banged your sister first?
Yeah,
that's
how he claimed to be a king, is like, oh, you're not a king. And he's like, well, I fucked your sister. And it's just like, fight.
Fight. But no, I felt like Euron would just be like, no, fuck, we're losing. I fucked your sister. Peace out, bitch. And
I'm gonna steal your dinghy.
And then fucking steal the dinghy and then row off. But no, he wants to fight to the death for Cersei, really?
And then he loses in the stupidest way possible, where he's beaten Jaime. Jaime is on the floor. And then Jaime's going to go crawl to the sword. And so Euron just walks up behind this crippled dude, grabs his dagger and goes, I can stab you literally in the back of the head, slice your throat, right through the spine. And he's like, I'm going to stab you in a place that could potentially kill you in 3 hours. But it's going to only hurt a lot, but you'll still be able to go up all those steps, find Cersei, go back all down those steps. So
Jaime turns around, just stabs him in the gut,
twists.
And like a good couple of times too, which was pretty satisfying. But then he falls down on the rock and then looks in the camera and he's just like, I got to be the guy who killed Jaime Lannister. You're just like, what the fuck?
This just got a whole lot more impossible.
Yeah, why are you making eye
really
contact
bad
with
writing. And it reminded me of that moment that these are the guys, or one of the guys that wrote Wolverine's origins,
which is
why
awful.
it was a Deadpool moment where he looks in the camera and just goes, I killed Jaime Lannister.
He wanted to be the one who wrote Deadpool.
Deadpool's mouth shut. They had no idea. And so, wow, excellent, fucking great. But see, that moment where it's like, oh, they're just so happen to be there.
No.
But I would forgive that in an episode otherwise if all the story beats were doing really, really well.
Where he's sneaking around and, the leader of the Iron Fleet just happens to see him and he's just like, and then jumps up and then, tries to sneak up on him.
So what did you think about Jaime meeting with Cersei and the ending to Jaime's
I thought it was kind
after all of these 7 different seasons, Jaime does an about face.
I thought it was kind of poetic that they put them in the same exact room that they left each other.
Right.
That was kind of nice, where they're in the map and Cersei's running down the stairs. She's freaking out, and she sees him across the room. Is like, oh my god! So they have this weird, nice moment where
they
you kind of
feel bad for the Lannisters of this whole episode because they turn Cersei's no longer a badass. Notice how this whole episode she's basically crying.
Oh yeah,
and running.
She totally
She forgets that she put out a huge contract to have him killed. She gave someone a castle to kill him.
The last time they saw each other was she told the mountain to kill him in that exact room. He's like, well, I'm leaving now. She's all...
So this whole episode feels like it came from George R.R. Martin because it feels like that those two dying in a way like the bad guy doesn't have to be killed by the hero in this big fight in front of everybody. They died unceremoniously. No one will ever know that they died. together. They'll just be two corpses under all those rocks.
I hate that.
And then
honestly, you can like it if you like, but I think it's ridiculous.
I'm not liking it.
She's affected so many lives, and those lives never get to see the conclusion of her story. They never. It's unsatisfying, and just because they wrote it in that particular way, I don't know. Did George R. R. Martin write it that they would die by a rock? What happened to all the fucking prophecies? Like it was one of those little rocks her brother that knocked her fucking ass out and killed her.
Choked her.
Well, I know the show didn't actually finish the prophecy. They only said the first part of the prophecy with the witch and not the second part of the prophecy that the hands will choke you out.
Well,
but
the
still,
hands
it's
were
just
wrapped
stupid.
around.
Here's the difference is Cersei needs to die. How can she die in a fucking gratifying way? But they wanted to subvert expectations.
Yeah.
And I feel that these guys, too many moments where they had a moment to give a satisfying, gratifying ending, whether the audience would like it or not, or whether the audience would be shocked, or whether it's bittersweet, or whether it's tragic, would subvert expectations because people already guessed that would be what happened, so then they change it. Jon fights the Night King. No, it's not Jon, it's Arya. Arya, who has nothing to do with the fucking Night King and just comes out of nowhere, fucking video game god mode, flies 100 feet and stabs him, and ends the whole fucking... don't get me started on the Night King. I'm taking this over again, so I'm gonna put it back to you.
So it feels like it was set up like that. Feels like a Game of Thrones scene. I don't know whether you like it or agree with it or not. It doesn't matter. That's the kind of thing.
Yeah.
George wanted to write something that's not a goddamn fairy tale.
Right.
The Wicked Witch doesn't get hit by a house in front of everybody.
Okay.
They die unceremoniously alone. But the problem is to set all that up.
Okay, but then my argument is, okay, well then everything in this episode is fucking great because it's nihilistic, it's fucking tragic, and all these and people actually do act like this. People are bipolar in real life, so they'll be like, no, no. And then the whole episode is great by that logic, Alex.
No.
Yes.
I'm saying is that kind of makes sense. And for them to set up this line, what they did is they did 5, 6, 7 tropes to get to this point. So it's almost like he said, the hero doesn't kill them. They die somewhere in the dark. They're like, oh, cool. That's not tropey. So what we're going to do is we're going to have them poetically meet in the exact same fucking place that they last saw each other, which I was pissed that happened. I hate it. I absolutely hate it because there's no way. You have King's Landing's giant. Red Keep's huge. Yeah. The whole place is destroyed, and they happen to meet in the exact same space that they saw last time to go down there, and oh no, the places are caved in. Yeah, so the thing is you can't try to set up this thing like, oh, we're going to subvert the expectations by doing all the trope shit to get to that point. So I didn't like that. I don't mind the way that they died. Like I don't have a problem with almost any of the major plot points of this thing. It's just they set them up so terribly. The other one that I actually really liked is I liked the little bit of Arya and the Hound thing when they do their goodbye.
I like that too.
He says, "Look, I'm gonna go die. I'm gonna go die for revenge. I'm gonna go up there. I'm gonna fight my brother. He knows it's not gonna end well. Don't end up like me." And I don't know why he didn't say it from the last 2 weeks that they're on the path together.
Yeah.
And I didn't like that they walked all the way
sense,
through the castle. They made it to the castle somehow, like untouched.
Yeah.
But
she forgets how to use her face
and
this
everything.
one.
Yeah.
She's never used it once this season, right?
She apparently didn't need to.
She is not using her faceless powers, which makes no fucking sense.
She put her hair up like Ned, so she was just trying to be Ned.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, see, there you
She
go.
could totally get by everybody.
She's a little dude. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever. I don't care about her.
But they're okay. Let's talk about some of the good moments in the episode. What are the moments that you liked, Erica?
But seriously, one of my favorite moments was the Cleganebowl.
Yeah, at least we got that. I keep calling Cleganebowl, but Cleganebowl.
I don't know.
Cleganebowl.
It's made up words, anyways. People, come
exactly.
on. So we see the Hound meet them on the actual staircase, and the mountain had just protected Cersei and Qyburn from being destroyed by like using his body as a shield. And then she sees the mountain like get ready to fight. He takes a step forward. She goes, "Stay by my side." And he turns and gives her the bitch please look. And then Qyburn, thinking he has any sort of control over the monster that he created, steps forward and he goes, "Listen to your queen." He turns, looks at him, grabs him by the head, smashes him against a rock, throws him down the stair. His head explodes from the back. And then
I was like, holy fucking
Cersei
shit.
just kind of looks and then's like, I'm gonna I'm gonna go, and even the mountain
It's
lets
the most
her.
awkward.
But
Like
peace out.
I'm just gonna walk away like past you, just like excuse me. I'm gonna
Well,
get
and
here.
I buy that because the mountain's locked in. He's like, everybody shut
And-
the fuck
well,
up. I'm gonna kill my
I'm
brother.
kind of surprised that the Hound didn't like punch her off the staircase
yeah.
because it was completely
Oh,
open.
the scene was like the you need to stay by me was the stupid. Like, why would you? Your bodyguard, you're not gonna let your bodyguard engage your enemy away from you? No, that part was stupid. In
Yeah,
that
it was
movie.
a little
yeah,
dumb.
Yeah, I didn't think
Yeah.
about
Just
that.
like you're gonna
right?
let your bodyguard go fight the bad
We
guy
have
down there.
We have to
We-
get past him.
Lady, I have a
Go
big ass
kill
sword,
him.
and
Yeah.
last I checked, you are not
God
impervious to
damn it,
blades.
Alex.
But I still liked it because
I
we
loved
got
it.
like
I
an
loved
epic
it.
fight between these two people, and it shows just how monstrous
yeah.
the mountain has become because he gets stabbed over and over
for sure.
and
He
over.
was a zombie.
And
he
then
does get
through
his
the
helmet
head.
knocked off, and I was a little disappointed that he didn't look like cooler or you know. I heard theories like Keith, who was watching it with us, was like, man, people have said maybe he's a different head. He's made up of different parts. Like
Yeah.
it would be fucking Rob Stark's head, or it would
didn't
be
properly
fucking
send
Ned
it
Stark's
back,
head, or
yeah.
something like that.
No.
But no, it's just a big.
It's just
it's-
his fucked up
He was
face,
just
you
giant
know.
Anakin, in
Anakin
I
Skywalker.
see you,
Exactly.
brother.
So the Hound, ultimately, I mean, it's not, it doesn't end in a happy story.
He
He's got to
realizes
basically.
he can't defeat him in proper combat. So a good way to try and defeat the undead is body slam him off of the staircase, and they fall into a flaming pit that is now
fucking spears him through the brick wall,
Yeah.
and they fucking burn up
They go.
together, dead. The Hound is definitely dead. The Mountain, maybe still
Probably.
alive.
Probably.
dead. Probably dead. So I thought that was good.
I think,
really
yeah, it
enjoyed
was-
but it was almost as if like I always thought that the Cleganebowl was the fan service, and we would never really get that.
I'm
You know
glad
what I
we
mean?
did.
And then it's so weird that we get it, and
Yeah.
it's like the best thing that's
Yeah.
done in the episode, almost as if like that was the final boss battle.
They're like,
that
"We
everything
gave you-"
was leading up to it, and it's like, what? Okay, I liked it, but what?
Yeah.
it was all right. I don't think it was my favorite. I liked the interaction between Jaime and Tyrion when Jaime was locked up.
I
thought
love
that was a wonderful.
especially when he's like, it's like without you,
I'd be dead.
I'd be dead.
They would have
because
killed
he
me as a child.
Was a dwarf.
Killed himself. I mean, if
Yeah.
even your family doesn't want you around, like Tyrion's the kind of guy that he could have taken.
Which is why it pisses me off so much that they fucked up Tyrion's character, because if he would do that for his brother, Jaime, he would do it for Varys too. But no, he fucking rats out Varys like a little bitch.
Yep.
And you knew eventually Dany's is going to figure it out herself. So I just...
Apparently she already had, and she was just
Yeah.
waiting for like that final bit.
And I just... How are they going to save Tyrion's storyline? Because he's
They don't
turned
have
into
to.
a fucking
He's gonna die.
moron.
he just dies.
Danny's gonna kill him.
And Jaime's arc is fucked. Literally goes over there, fucks Brienne, and they says, "Nah, peace out, bitch." And then he goes back, and he's
Yeah.
like, right with
He falls
Cersei
into that
and-
abusive relationship thing.
Yeah.
It's nihilistic. It's a little thing, but okay, fine. If that's how you want to end it, that's what I don't have a problem with that. It's just the various executions of it, and it's weird because HBO offered them 10 episodes.
Yeah.
In fact,
Really?
HBO would be yes.
What?
They said fucking no. They said we could do this in 6.
Why?
And I think because they're fucking rushing this quite clearly. The coffee cup. There was an image online that Jaime's hand isn't gold.
Oh
but
yeah, he's wrapped
holding-
around. Yeah, his
But
right hand is.
I couldn't find that in the
I
actual
did.
episode.
So I saw the screenshot. He's hugging Cersei, and he's got a right hand.
No, I watched the episode. It's not in there.
They
It
can
might be a
alter
promo
things
image
afterwards. You know that,
Yeah,
right?
I've got
I know.
the Reddit showed me. I found it.
oh,
of it.
Reddit. Thank
I
you.
know. Well, anyways, it just seems like they're fucking rushing things.
Yeah.
And we could have gotten more gratifying reasons for this, not turning fucking, Daenerys into fucking Hitler. All those people that named their daughters Khaleesi and Daenerys, when they,
Joke's
your
on
little
you.
shirts of, you're going to be burning those shirts. No,
Oh,
she
dude,
burned
I'm
women
gonna
and
keep my
children.
shirt. Come on.
Oh, yeah. But see, that's what I'm saying. They could have done it in a way where it's like,
It made
these
more
motherfucking
logical
bitches
sense.
killed my children.
Yeah.
Rah! Right? And that's kind of what happens, but it's not built in the right way. It's just over time where it's like, okay, she calms back down and she realizes, bells!
And there's some people that can suspend that disbelief and just go, oh, they tell me that she's crazy, I buy it. Yeah. And I'm just not one of those people.
Those are the people that just want to be entertained.
Yeah.
There are some people out there that I just want to be entertained. I don't care. And the show is entertaining. And it is.
It is.
This episode was damn entertaining because of the good direction, because of the visuals, because you're pouring $14-20 million in per episode. Things are going to look good. It also helps when you have a damn good composer, which, by the way, the music in this episode,
I liked it.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
agreed.
Fucking almost 10 out of 10.
Yep.
So you got all these different things holding up. You have to really look at, some of the arcs and the character things that's been going on and the writing and realize, well, this isn't George R.R. Martin. This is D&D who are taking notes and say, okay, we have to end up here. How can we get here in a satisfying way? And they don't get there in the satisfying way.
Normally there's a curve or a slope, and they just went, hook.
And they truncated it so that they can go off and do Star Wars.
I am
ruin Star Wars. Do the Confederacy Wins series, which is fucking stupid as shit.
I'm very upset that you told me that there's 10 episodes. That they could have had 10 episodes.
Yes.
I didn't
HBO
know
was
that.
like, well, 10 episodes.
If we can if HBO could have gotten one more month of subscriptions at everyone's HBO Go
Yeah, you
into
think?
June,
Oh,
they would have loved it.
HBO's
Yeah.
just as pissed as you are.
I'm
seriously.
well,
they got all these spin-off series that they're now almost kind of ruining. People
They
are
did
fucking
cancel
pissed.
at least one of them.
Yeah, I heard about that. There was like 5. Well, good. There were too fucking
Good.
many.
Now
there
you
needed
guys,
to just be like.
please don't hire D&D for that
one.
either. Like, please don't.
They are going to be producers. They're not going to write. They're going to stay on as producers.
Yeah.
So.
Fuck them.
Yeah, fuck them. Fuck them. Did too many subverting expectations, and I think it's actually ruining some of these. So I literally have no fucking idea how this is going to end. Talking about Jaime a little bit more. Jaime, I wanted to mention this, that Jaime's like, the people never mattered. Okay, so you killed the fucking Mad King for fun? You weren't protecting an entire city,
Yeah.
but now he doesn't give a fuck about the city. So it's just
He kind of goes against his own word.
His own words. It goes against what people set up. And people will throw things in my face with Joe. Daenerys just says, "I'm gonna burn whole cities." It's like, yes, they set that up in season 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's that she also learns from that stuff as she goes along, but apparently
she had the opportunity to come back from it, and then just apparently didn't.
And then behind the scenes, they say she does this because this happens, this happens, this happens, this happens. But it's because you wrote all that on purpose in this one little time.
There's a big difference from burning a city down and blowing up all of its keeps and all the towers and then like all the places where the military leaders are and all the strategic points. And it is something entirely different to go up the streets where all of the people live and are running away and burn the people that immediately said they want to surrender. That is something different. Like they went so much further, and I don't know why. Maybe it was to show something cooler. They could have done so many things.
Let's play devil's advocate to you. Well, Alex, that's because she wanted to rule through fear.
Rule who? She killed everybody.
She
wants the
hit
future
that level
generations to be ruled by fear.
Oh, okay.
But she
that's why
hit
she
that
did that,
level
because
of
she
fear.
wanted to put fear into everybody's mind. Even though she already has that.
Yeah.
She already has the fucking fear.
She has a dragon that is impervious to everything, that can dodge every arrow.
Oh, it's been buffed.
Yeah.
The dragon's been buffed.
And she already took out all the things that could possibly kill it. Now she's just invincible.
She's got 50,000 Dothraki with instant respawn. She's got 40,000 of Unsullied that immediately respawn.
I was like, what the fuck? And then all armies, the Northmen go rapey. The Dothraki were already rapey. But no, not really. Because
she told them that
she
made them stop.
Fucking specifically said,
again, out of fear,
I'm a new Khaleesi, and you're not doing that shit anymore. And immediately they do.
They're
that
like,
shit.
cool, yeah.
And it was a pure chaos, but it was for shock value. It was for the episode, just like the Dothraki lights going out. The directors wanted everybody to go fucking turn a nice battle into a nightmare, and they executed that.
Yeah. So you and I disagree. I don't think that Grey Worm would have just gone full murder mode on troops that had surrendered.
Well, he was pissed because he dropped Missandei.
Yeah.
I understand being upset, but like. Average foot soldier and average foot soldier, like just the people that were following orders. There's especially people that throw down their swords.
Yeah.
I don't buy that he would just go around murdering a bunch of unarmed people.
Right.
Like, doesn't make any sense.
Grey Worm essentially starts that
He
slaughter.
stopped giving a fuck the second that he dropped that.
He just sees his queen start burning people, so he's like, "Oh, cool! I'll just start killing innocent people too."
Yeah,
they were right in the same heart of just like. Fuck
to be fair, I think Grey Worm's targets were all Lannister soldiers.
They were,
which
unarmed, surrender murdered.
Because what fucking Dany should be doing is fucking over all Lannisters. If she wants to destroy that whole house, men, women, children, I'm down with that.
Yeah.
But the men, women, and children who had nothing to do with anything.
Yeah,
and they've got these scenes that they spend so much time on. Arya fucking dies in this episode like 8 times.
Oh, did you care for that whole the Hound, Arya, the Hound, Arya?
Oh, I know. I was like, no, stop this bullshit.
We quit this.
It's fucking bullshit.
I
Give me
hoping...
the Cleganebowl,
the bowl,
and then show me the Arya stuff, which you've already showed me the Arya stuff 7 times. Why are you doing
I know
it
I'm a
again?
monster for saying it, but I was hoping that they were leading up to something with that, with the whole like don't become me, and then you see the dragon fly by. She turns and ducks, but at that last moment, there's still the sparks flying, and like it burns her face and scars her, so that she'll always have that heart of like the last thing I remember is him saving me. That would have been nice.
Didn't happen. Instead, she finds a horsey, and it goes in slow motion. And we spend 5 fucking minutes with this little horse.
And the horse that's in the middle of a firefight with a dragon is like, "Oh, hey, what's up? You want to get on? Let's."
I know I'm covered in
trot
blood.
off into the
Deus Ex
distance.
Machina, here we go. You're saved. Woo, we ride. You're so beautiful, horse. Whee!
You're so beautiful too, Arya.
Yeah,
Let's go.
I don't know. So they executed something. She was useless this episode after being OP. She got nerfed. In the
And not only
notes.
did she useless, she actually did more harm than good because she kept
Oh, yeah.
that little family that saved her. She's like, "Come with me if you want to live," and she pulls the woman outside, and she immediately gets slashed by a Dothraki and then roasted by a dragon. It's like, oh
all
shit!
Those people
She couldn't even save
die
the kid.
horribly, and I'm like, they probably would have been safer in that building.
Yeah, don't listen
Thanks,
to Arya.
Arya. Great, Arya. She dies like 15 times. Fire comes in. Guys, I have no idea. No idea where this is going. If it was like this in episode 5, what the hell are we going to get in episode 6?
I think
are
we
we
know
going to get a
exactly.
battle between the Northmen and the Unsullied, or is it just going to be character to character? Jon killing fucking Daenerys.
Well, we
Or Arya
clearly
killing
don't have a
Daenerys.
super
Arya.
epic battle.
She's still there. She's on the horse, and she's more pissed than she's ever been. So.
Right.
True.
Okay, maybe she finally will use her faceless one
I
power.
think-
Remember that she has that power.
Jon may try and confront Dany.
I think it's going to be Jon, because otherwise Jon has been a complete fucking side character.
Good.
And he needs to fucking do something. Guys, here's what's going to happen.
He's gonna fight
He's
Grey
going to
Worm.
fucking fight
Grey Worm.
Well, Grey Worm.
They set
They
up a
had
lot
some-
of weird
Yeah.
tension in this episode, so I think that he's got to square off against Grey Worm.
Because I think Grey Worm would win against
Oh, for sure.
Jon,
But then Arya's going to jump out of the nowhere, and like
then
everyone's
stab
hair is
them
going to
both.
flow, and she's just going to stab.
Stop it, Alex.
No, Arya already killed Grey Worm,
it.
and then they're having like that weird bro moment where it's like, huh, huh, and then he turns around and Grey Worm rips off his face. It's Arya's like, aha!
Stop it, y'all. It's going to be Jon killing Dany. His sword is going to turn on fire because she's made of fire. And the Azor Ahai prophecy will be fulfilled because he saves the kingdom by killing the one villain who is now the final boss. Dany is now the final boss. It just makes me so mad that we got Night King is the final boss, one episode. Oh, wait, no, he's not. Cersei's the final boss, one episode. Oh, wait, no,
Just
she's
kidding.
not. Dany is the final boss.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, here we go. She's dead. And let's fucking kill her. I guarantee you she's dead. I guarantee you Jon sits on the throne. He doesn't want the fucking throne. He said that so many times. He's going to be like, no, I don't want it. And somebody else is going to be king. And here's the one good thing that we can get out of this is that maybe, just maybe, because of the conversation that Tormund, you already know because I already told Alex, the conversation Tormund has with Jon, he's like, you're a northerner, not the fake, the real
The
north.
true north.
The true north. You know, it felt like an invitation. Maybe we'll see them again. Maybe he'll finally get to reunite with Ghost and we'll get a pat. I will give the episode a whole point if he pats
Not just
fucking
10 out of 10.
Ghost at
He
some
pet the
point.
puppy.
If he reunites with Ghost at fucking least north of the wall, somebody else is fucking dubbed king.
Maybe it's
whether
Gendry.
Fucking Gendry actually has a pretty damn good
Yeah.
claim. Maybe fucking Sansa, since she's been playing the Game of Thrones the whole fucking time. Or God knows what they're gonna do. They're gonna do fucking something stupid. Tyrion, fucking Bran, who's a tree, just a walking tree.
If you're going against the people who are like, I don't want it, Bran's in that boat. He's
Right.
just like, no, I'm good. I'm not even Bran anymore. I don't have a proper claim to
Yeah,
it.
exactly. So I don't know how they're gonna end this. Who else could be? Davos? No, this is stupid.
Yeah.
It's fucking stupid. It's Jon, and he either takes the throne or he says, "Fuck this, I'm going north," and somebody else takes the throne.
Yeah.
What? I don't remember. Who did Davos smuggle in this episode?
It was Jamie.
Jamie.
Yeah.
He actually smuggles Jamie in?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Past the soldiers and shit.
I have a favor to ask you.
On that beach,
Not gonna like this, right?
And I also had a problem with their whole war camp being directly next to King's Landing. They're all camping on the beach, and like no one in King's Landing is like, oh, hey, all the bad guys are down there. Maybe we should point our little ballistic scorpions down there.
They
That'd
didn't
be good.
have any on that little rampart
they
right there.
cheated a little bit with the whole like location of King's Landing because there's no actual like desert right before King's Landing. There's no like wall like that where they.
It's also supposed to be winter in King's Landing.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be snowing.
No. The Night King is dead. There is no seasons.
The ash in Danny's prediction, or
Yeah,
the,
well,
the
it was-
snow,
we thought it was
ash.
snow. Like
It was.
Jamie leaves King's
It
Landing
was
and it's
literally
snowing.
the ash of children.
Yeah.
And kids.
Yeah, it's fine.
So
This
the
is
real
fine.
I know what it is. The final bad guy's not Danny. It's lung disease. You can't breathe in all that ash and like
true.
all those
all that
people.
people. Yeah,
you can't
it
breathe
just
in
gets
people.
stuck in there.
I kind of hope that the White Walkers are not dead. I because
Team
the
White
reason
Walker.
why is because I'm like I wish the Night King would have won in episode 3 and wiped them all out.
Yep.
That would have been
No, you
fun-
got to
fun.
go
I'm
like
going with the White-
as far out in your brain as possible and just be like, that's probably it.
yeah. As far as how they're gonna end the series,
Yeah.
Podrick on the throne.
Podrick
Yay!
tripod on the throne, guys. Calling it.
He
first.
doesn't even need to stand properly. He's got two ladies on either side, like, I am that pod.
I wonder if the throne is gonna be destroyed because I was really looking forward to like the throne being destroyed to show that the
Symbolically
throne doesn't
destroyed.
fucking matter, but no, it matters to D&D.
Yeah.
Apparently,
Or into Danny.
and to Sansa.
Yeah.
And to other people.
And all right. Anyway,
Did we miss anyone dying? Who died? We had 6 deaths in this episode.
what were the deaths?
We got the Hound,
The Mountain.
the Mountain,
The Hound, the Mountain,
Qyburn.
Jamie and Cersei.
Jamie and Cersei. Euron.
You're on.
Mm-hmm.
That was 6.
Yup.
I think that's it.
That's him.
Mm-hmm.
And fucking House Lannister probably mostly.
Oh, my favorite is like the tallest Lannister now is Tyrion.
Yay! He gets to be the best at something.
Okay. So let's predict: is Tyrion gonna live or die?
I think he does.
Because he did betray Dany.
Yes.
Okay.
And she did specify, if you betray me again, you will burn.
What a sad fucking arc. But they're going for that. They're
Yeah.
going for the bittersweet ending.
Yep.
Well, stupid bittersweet.
Well,
Stupid bittersweet instead.
That's
of
how it'll
bittersweet.
open, is her just executing a whole bunch of people sitting on the throne with, like, Drogon right next to her, and she's like, burn it! Burn that
Have
one!
we covered everything? I think we've definitely done an exhaustive reasoning, review of the episode. Let's give it a final verdict.
I'm gonna give this one a 6, and much for the same reason that I gave the Long Night or Battle of Winterfell something similar.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's because, like-
Yeah.
we want to give like 9 out of
Yeah,
10 for the
trust me,
cinematography.
we want it to
and
be
the
the best
battles.
thing we've ever seen.
There was also 2 really amazing moments that I truly enjoyed. Like I liked the Jamie and Tyrion scene, and
And the Cleganebowl.
Well, no, actually, I think I like when Arya turns to the Hound. Doesn't call him Hound, just says Sandor, thank you. That was really important. That kind of wrapped everything up for me, like for several seasons. That was more important than like a half. It was almost like, you remember in the Dark Knight where you don't get to see Batman fight anyone, they're constantly cutting and there's like the shaky cam. That's what the Cleganebowl was for me, so I didn't really care all that much about it.
Well, I did.
So those 2 scenes were really good and I really liked them.
Yeah.
And so there was some good storytelling and it was kind of pretty, but then there were some really stupid moments. So we'll just kind of sort of average it together. I get to 6.
What about you, Erica?
Okay, I really want to give it a 6, but the more I sit on it, I kind of want to go back and rewatch it just so I can get all those good fight scenes and dragons flying through the air and properly being dragons, burning down buildings and
can see
watching it crumble up before
Which
you.
makes me so mad that I just realized, remember the blue flames?
Yeah.
John was sitting behind a fucking rock.
Yeah, and
it could not destroy a
did
rock
nothing.
or a pillar.
But
Oh.
she goes through and she burns.
But
like,
but that's another episode. We're talking about
Yeah,
this
okay,
episode.
okay.
So you're right.
I gave it a 6 yesterday, and
Uh-huh.
I might. There's no halfsies, right?
You gave it a
there's
7
no
yesterday.
halvesies.
I didn't.
She said
I gave it a
6,
6.
maybe 7. She
Maybe
said
7.
yesterday. So in the revised review, you're going 7.
I'm going
I
to go.
feel it.
I guess, yeah, I'm going to go 7 because I really enjoyed this one. Out of
Okay.
all of the episodes recently, I really like this one because they did have some proper storytelling. You felt like actually heartstrings pulled, and then there's some really awesome action.
Got a reaction from us, most definitely. If we're
definitely.
going for fucking reaction.
7.
Got it. 7. I think it's a 6. I think it sort of echoes the Long Night. in the long night, wrapping up the Night King in an unsatisfying way. I think they wrapped this up in an unsatisfying way. Not that the decisions made were bad, that she becomes the Mad Queen or that this or that happens. It's just the
way it happens,
brevity of it, the very small setting it up, and the way it's filmed, and the reasonings behind it. It could have been stronger. That's why it does get above average, because there is a lot of money going into these. There's great music, there's great cinematography, there's great action. This is probably the best dragon action of all time.
I'd agree.
I think this is the coolest fucking destruction that I've seen from a dragon. Drakes, because they don't have arms?
The front arms.
Front arms.
Anyway,
Super important.
So 6 out of 10 on this. It does go up from the last episode, which I absolutely hated. Didn't have all the good action. Didn't have all that stuff. That was a 4 out of 10. So we're going little dip here. Though we have some problems with it, there were some good things. What's going to happen with the ending, we'll have to see. I want to thank you guys for watching. I also want to thank Stardust app for sponsoring us. We have another winner to announce this week who will be going to the party for the viewing party for the last episode. And here is your winner. So you have won originality. Sean, thank you so much for adding at me, tagging me there. If you guys can do us a major solid, it supports the show. Download the free Stardust app. Follow us and tag us with some reactions. We constantly put up unique content there and some pretty excruciating videos of our reactions. So I cannot wait for the last episode. Obviously, we're fans. We're passionate. That's why we, rage sometimes and have problems with how some of this is going. But we'll see how they wrap everything up. Yeah, that's how I feel. Okay, guys?
Fuck it, I'm excited. Let's do this.
Fuck it, let's do it. All right, we'll see you guys on the next Angry Joe show. And here we go. Can't wait to see you next Sunday. Bye-bye. Hit that sub button. And, appreciate it. Have a good one.